The king of fruits, durian, known as the fruit with a heavenly taste and hellish smell, has earned quite a reputation. Its distinctive odor, often compared to rotten eggs or gas, has made it infamous, so much so that most hotels and public places ban bringing durians inside. I recently visited Vietnam and stumbled upon durians being sold at a market. Curiosity got the better of me, so I bought one that was already peeled. While the smell was indeed pungent, the taste was surprisingly good. Interestingly, I detected a cool, pineapple-like aroma with a slight kick, reminiscent of Chinese baijiu. No matter how many times I tried it, that baijiu-like sensation persisted. This prompted me to research the aromatic compounds in durian. Lo and behold, I discovered that ethyl caproate, the main fragrance component in baijiu, is also present in durian. Ethyl caproate contributes to the fruity aroma of apples and pineapple. Although masked by durian's other unpleasant odors, when eating the flesh, I could sense that cool, pineapple-like scent. This got me thinking, could we make an alcohol that captures that pineapple-like aroma? Or would the gas-like smell persist? There was only one way to find out. I had to make it myself. Back in Korea, I ordered durians online. They were directly flown in from Thailand, costing $100 for 10 kilograms. The price was a bit steep, but I was committed to this experiment. The durians looked a bit green, so I had to ripen them at room temperature for a few days. To contain the pungent smell, I placed them in an enclosed space for ripening. However, completely sealing them off could lead to mold growth due to trapped moisture, so I left the lid slightly open. Even with this precaution, the durian smell permeated my room. I used a fan to minimize the odor escaping for several days. Eventually, the once green fruits turned golden, indicating they were well ripened. When properly ripened, durians naturally split at the ends. Those spiky shells were sharper than I expected. Now, it was time to cut open the durian. Using the natural splits made it easier to cut. As I pried it open, the flesh inside was revealed. After tasting it, I found it even more delicious than what I had in Vietnam. The air-shipped, home-ripened durian was truly exquisite. I finally understood why it's called the king of fruits. Now it was time to make alcohol from this fruit. But first, I came across a warning. Drinking alcohol with durian can be dangerous. While there's no scientific experiment confirming this, it's believed that the sulfur compound diethyl sulfide, abundant in durian, may interfere with ethanol breakdown. Additionally, durian's high sugar content could rapidly spike blood sugar when consumed with alcohol. Although there's no definitive proof, a 2019 news report of a Thai man dying after consuming durian and wine suggests it's generally advisable to avoid combining durian and alcohol. However, making alcohol from durian and drinking it alone is a different story. In fact, there are places that produce durian-based alcohol, typically an 18% ABV drink made from durian flesh and sugar. To start the process, I separated the durian flesh from the seeds. My kid helped me scrape out the flesh. It was surprisingly enjoyable, and the fruit pieces were larger than expected. After extracting the flesh from 3 durians, I realized it was too thick and sweet to ferment as is. So I added water to thin it out. I measured the sugar content, which was initially difficult due to the thick consistency. After diluting a small portion 1-to-1 with water, I got a reading of 8 bricks, suggesting the original flesh had about 16 bricks. This meant it could potentially ferment into an 8% ABV drink. Perfect. I sanitized the fermentation container, added the durian flesh, and prepared yeast. To preserve the aroma, I let it ferment at a low temperature of about 10 degrees Celsius in a kimchi refrigerator. After about 3 days, I opened the lid and was hit with a strong CO2 smell, a good sign of fermentation. I let it ferment for about 2 months. The taste was hard to discern. It still had that gaseous durian smell, with a sweet and sour pineapple flavor and a bitter aftertaste. The sweetness masked any alcohol taste. To be sure, I asked a friend who has an alcohol meter to accurately measure the ethanol content for me. It came out to about 8% ABV, exactly as predicted from the initial sugar content. Now it was time for distillation. I diluted the fermented durian alcohol with water to prevent burning during distillation. I used a copper still, which is great for removing sulfur compounds, and it's a common practice in Scotch whiskey distilleries. After setting up the still, I heated the mixture and collected about 1 liter of the first distillate. I then redistilled this, discarding the initial portion, heads, and collecting only the best part, hearts. Finally, after nearly 3 months from ordering the durians to distillation, I had my durian spirit. I collected 3 fractions, the first 45 milliliters after discarding the heads, the next 45 milliliters, and the remainder. The last fraction was cloudy due to the haze effect that occurs around 46% ABV, which I discarded. The first one had a slight durian gas smell with a light, tangy tropical fruit aroma and a hint of beans. The second one had less fruit aroma and more alcohol smell. Blending these two spirits resulted in a 53% ABV spirit. From 3 durians, I got 90 milliliters of 53% ABV spirit, a small but potent yield. The aroma was still rough right after distillation, with a faint durian smell and a hint of pineapple. It was definitely an improvement over the raw fruit smell. Tasting it, I could clearly detect pineapple notes, with a nutty aftertaste from the direct fire distillation. The unique durian tang was still present, but I felt it might mellow with aging. While it turned out better than expected, the process was quite smelly and labor-intensive. I wouldn't recommend trying this at home. In conclusion, making durian alcohol was an interesting experiment, but it's probably best left to the professionals due to the intense odor and complex process involved. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!